Hello, welcome to Financial Vibes with me, Peter Calvilan Sedubide and Francis Kabinoli Lugoloobi. We would like to talk about how we pay tax. How do we pay tax? We need a step-by-step approach to paying tax. We've been talking about tax, we talked about income tax, we talked about value-added tax. But how do we pay tax? If I would like to pay tax, what must I do and what must I know? First, what must I know first before I pay tax? Because I want to know how we pay tax, but before I pay tax, what must I know?
Now, we've looked at, as you said, we've looked at taxes, especially the basic domestic taxes in Uganda, and that is pay as you earn, paid by employees.
Okay.
We looked at income tax paid by corporations or companies. Then we've looked at individual income tax paid by individuals who are not incorporated into companies. We've looked at withholding tax, which is a form of income tax held back by a payer paying for a service.
What do you mean by held back?
It's for example, if someone, if you're paying a service provider 1 million shillings, you hold back 6%, which is 60,000 shillings, and you pay it to government, and you only pay 940,000 shillings to the service provider. It's called a withholding tax.
Okay.
But you only pay it if you are registered for it. Now, in order for you to pay any tax, you must be registered for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Even if you are eligible to pay a tax, you cannot pay it unless you are registered with Uganda Revenue Authority to pay that tax. You must be registered for PAYE to pay PAYE. You must be registered for VAT to pay VAT. You must be registered for income tax to pay income tax. You must be registered for withholding tax to withhold that 6% and pay it to government. So, to begin with, you must be registered for that tax under your TIN. You remember the TIN we talked about here?
But in the previous video, where we're talking about or we're discussing value-added tax,
Yeah.
you said that is the tax paid by the end user.
Yeah.
Does the end user need to first get registered?
The end user pays it through the seller who has sold them the product. The seller adds it over and above the sale amount,
Okay.
the selling price. For example, if I'm selling something at 100,000 Ugandan shillings, and I'm the seller, and I'm registered for VAT, I must add 18%, which is 18,000. So I'll sell it to you, the end user, at 118,000. But it's me who has collected the tax, the seller, who pays it to Uganda Revenue Authority, because I've collected it on behalf of Uganda Revenue Authority. The same applies with payee. You, the employee, you do not pay it directly from your salary. No, your employer deducts it from the salary and gives you a net amount, the difference. Then the employer sends the pay to Uganda Revenue Authority, and it's paid through this process. All those taxes, pay, VAT, income tax, withholding tax, excise duty, name it. This is how you pay for them when you're registered. You have a team and you're registered for that particular tax.
It takes a tax identification number.
Yeah. Then you are registered also for that particular tax. What you do is you go to a computer, a laptop, a desktop, and you log into the Uganda Revenue Authority website using ura.go.ug.
Okay.
You log into it, that website, and then you go to your portal.
Okay.
You go to your account in the URA portal. Okay. You click and you go into your account. You put in the details, which is your TIN and your password to the TIN. Okay. When you put them in, then you log into the particular tax you are going to pay. Okay. When you log into that particular tax you're going to pay, you put in the tax details. For example, if you're paying PAYE or pay as you earn, you put in the details of all the employees who are paying that tax in your company and their TIN numbers and the gross amounts against which they're paying the tax, and you put in those details. And what happens, URA website, the URA website has a mechanism whereby it works out the tax amount. You don't have to put in tax amount. Okay. It bases the tax amount on the gross amount, even if it's income tax, even if it's pay as you earn, even if it's VAT, it works out the tax. So that process is called filing. Now, when you're filing, you validate and upload the information you filed for whatever tax which you are registered for in your team. When you upload it, it generates the amount of tax payable by giving you a PRN, a payment registration number, which is on the payment registration form. So that form is an e-form which you can print out, or you can leave it on your computer, or you can send it on your mobile phone. And then when you get that payment registration form, which has a PRN is a payment registration number, which is given to you by URA. Registration number, PRN, which is given to you by URA after filing the tax return. And when you get that number, you get the number. It's a long number. It's over 10 digits long. So when you get that particular number and you use mobile money or your bank or any bank or PAYE, and you can use all those mechanisms to pay the tax, the particular tax you've filed and received the PRN for. Yeah, that's how you pay taxes.
Isn't that too rigorous? Isn't it painstaking?
It's painstaking for many taxes. So most individuals do, most individuals who are not trained in this, they do not do it themselves. For example, I'm a tax accountant. So what I do, I help individuals to file those returns and pass on the PRN, the payment registration number to them, and then they can make a payment using the number, because it's very easy to make a payment when using a mobile phone or using you walk into any bank and give them a bank agent, and then you give them the PRN or payment registration number, and then they can process the payment for you. You give them the money, hand over the money, and they make the payment for you.
But by the way, come to talk of it, must taxes, because here in church we can give tithe, material tithe. Okay, out of my 10 clusters of Bogoya,
You give out
materially. Isn't there a conduit in the Uganda Revenue Authority or in any tax-paying mechanism where the taxpayer can use material products to pay tax instead of money? Must taxes be in money form, money to mean liquid form?
In Uganda, taxes must be paid in money, because as we talked about money sometime back, money is the representative of value. You get me? So we use that representative of value to pay taxes. And in Uganda, taxes are paid in Ugandan shillings.
Okay.
Yeah, we pay them in Ugandan shilling. That's the only mode in which you pay. You can't pay taxes in form of bananas or in form of cattle or in form of milk. No, we use that representative of the value which is being taxed to pay the tax.
Thank you very much. That's what you need to know, and that's what you need to do if you want to pay taxes. This is Financial Vibes from here with Kabinoli Lugoloobi, Francis, a tax accountant, and Peter Serubide, the moderator. Thank you.